Hulu's dystopian series The Handmaid's Tale is no easy watch, and it's not for the weak-hearted. Based on the 1985 novel of the same name, this series showcased what it's like for women who lived under totalitarian rule. And for today's episode, we'll be listing down the top 10 episodes ranked so far in the series. So keep on watching today's video if you want to know which episodes made it to today's list. It's the perfect time to look back on The Handmaid's Tale and how far the series has gone with Season 5 finished and the final season in the works. Starting at the 10th spot, we have Women's Work, which is the 8th episode of Season 2. In Women's Work, the Waterford family unwinds while Fred heals in the hospital following the Red Center attack, allowing Serena and June to put their differences aside. Despite breaking Gilead's rules prohibiting women from reading or writing, Serena enlists June's expertise as a copy editor to assist with Fred's paperwork because she's sick of the domestic feminism she once promoted. While Serena falsifies the commander's signature for a well-known female pediatrician, who is now a Martha, to assist Angela, breaking yet another rule, June fights for Madeline Brewer's Janine to see her sick child. As June watches, Fred mercilessly beats her with his belt for Serena's misdeeds. Original perceptions of Serena are complicated by Women's Work, as her concern for the greater good reveals a side of her personality that hasn't yet been highlighted on the show. The harsh reality of the first season and second season has been combined with humorous moments that cloud assumed relationship dynamics, notably those between June and Serena. On to the 9th spot, we have Together, which is the 6th episode of Season 5. The high point of several characters is covered in Together, the 6th episode of the most recent season. Uncertain of their futures and imprisoned in cages by Gileadian forces, June and Luke are plotting to rescue Hannah. Aunt Lydia informs Esther that she's pregnant after she awakens from a poison-induced coma, and she understands that the pregnancy was a result of Commander Putnam raping Esther. When Mrs. Wheeler tries to match Serena up with the doctor who performs her ultrasound and chastises Serena for the idea of not remarrying, Serena, who's now confined to a handmaid-like role in the Wheeler household, is forced to face the reality that she helped create. After June and Luke are split up, Commander Putnam is shot for the of unassigned property. Serena is taken to June, and she makes her pray before shooting Ezra and making June drive her away. The man Nick is evolving into causes Rose, who is now expecting, to question him. Then, at the number 8 spot, we have the 7th episode of Season 5, titled No Man's Land. With her contractions getting stronger, Serena is holding a driving June at gunpoint in No Man's Land, continuing the plot of Together. Numerous flashbacks are shown, showing the intimate moments the two women spend as June contemplates abandoning Serena to give birth alone, but ultimately caves. After Noah is born, June drives Serena to the hospital, where their relationship is strained when Luke walks in and doesn't notice how intimate the two women are with one another. He reported Serena to ICE, isolating her from her infant. The couple's journey toward normalcy is hampered by Luke's act of finally being able to punish the lady his wife has been torturing and consuming over because he can't keep up with June's path to acceptance and healing. One of The Handmaid's Tale's most private episodes, No Man's Land, features June trying to get over her trauma with Serena, and Serena coming to see her mistakes in the founding of Gilead and her treatment of the one person who stood by her. On to the 7th spot, we have Season 2's first episode, titled June. The Handmaid's Tale's June is a fantastic first episode of the second season, carrying the character's increased anxiety throughout the story. After refusing to stone Janine to death in the previous episode, June and countless other handmaids are led into an abandoned stadium where a row of gallows is waiting for them. The women prepare for their deaths with the nooses around their necks until the platform only slightly dips, a dire warning what would happen to them if they resist again. Only June is spared because of the news of her pregnancy as the women travel back to the Red Center. Next, on the 6th spot, we have Season 2's 6th episode, titled First Blood. First Blood is an episode that deftly grasps into the suffering experienced by residents of the Waterford home. By letting June talk about Hannah so that she may comprehend what it's like to be pregnant, Serena tries to establish a connection with June over the developing kid. Serena's softer side emerges as she recognizes June's importance, from setting up the living room so that June won't have to use the stairs, to bringing other handmaids over for a visit. As Eden, his young wife, is trying to please Nick as God intended, the newlywed Nick finds it difficult to connect with her. And now, we're on to the upper half of today's list. Do you have any guesses on what episodes lie ahead? Tune in for more. At the 5th spot, we have the 9th episode of Season 2, titled Smart Power. Smart Power emphasizes Serena and Fred's journey to Canada to promote Gilead and dispel the myth that women are oppressed, thereby highlighting the economic potential of the country. Serena explores while Fred talks about business and runs into Mark Twello, who offers her freedom in exchange for knowledge about Gilead. Serena declines, feeling that doing so would betray her nation. Luke and Moira show up during a demonstration against the Waterford's appearance in Canada. After that, Nick finds Luke and informs him that June is safe and expecting, while also giving him a stack of letters describing the lives of women in Gilead. Then, to make the public aware of Gilead's sins, Luke and Moira work to get them out there. At the 4th spot today, we have Night, which is the 10th episode of Season 1. The lengthy build-up to the Handmaid's uprising, which highlights their togetherness and sisterhood despite the costs, captures the same ending as the original novel Night, from which the series is inspired. When Serena learns that Fred has been going to Jezebel's with Offred, she becomes furious and punches her before making her take a pregnancy test. When Offred's pregnancy is made known, Serena tells Fred that the child isn't his. Serena visits Hannah's school with Offred as payback, threatening to harm Hannah if Offred attempts to undermine the pregnancy. When the handmaids are asked to go to a house to kill a woman who put a kid in danger, they're surprised to learn that Janine is the target. They band together to oppose the punishment, which caused Aunt Lydia to issue a menacing threat. The two guardians arrive at June's house, and Nick assures her that everything will be alright. Moira and Luke reconcile in Canada. Now, we're finally in the top 3. Number 3 on today's list is none other than Season 2's 10th episode, titled The Last Ceremony. The Waterford house suddenly changes into a birthing party when Offred starts to have contractions while out grocery shopping, only to be let down when it's discovered that she's experiencing fake contractions and is still a long way from giving birth. Fred and Serena Offred to force her into childbirth. Fred then gives Nick the directive to take Offred to see Hannah so that they can have a brief interaction. Nick is assaulted and taken away by two guardians as they're leaving the area, leaving Offred by herself. Offred is forced to repeat the horrific memories and come to terms with the fact that neither of her children will be safe as long as they're in Gilead in the last ceremony, which emphasizes the significance of her pregnancy in Gileadian society. Then, we have the 11th episode of Season 3 titled Liars. In Liars, while Serena and Fred try to smuggle Nicole back into Gilead, June and Commander Lawrence plot to transport 52 children on a clandestine aircraft into Canada, saving them from a life of servitude and violence. When June enters Jezebel's to spread the word about the strategy, Commander Winslow forces her into having at which point she kills him in his suite, after being duped into crossing into Canadian territory, where Fred is detained for kidnapping, servitude, and Fred and Serena meet up with Tuello. The suspense-filled episode Liars carries viewers into the series' conclusion. And topping today's list of the best episodes of Handmaid's Tale is Season 3's 3rd episode, titled Mayday. The Handmaid's Tale's 3rd season finale, Mayday, features the handmaids and Marthas collaborating to make ready for the escape flight by packing food and smearing the windows with soap. Serena was imprisoned on charges of rape, sexual enslavement, and crimes against humanity, when Fred, who's in Canada, revealed Serena's offenses while working with the authorities to offer information about Gilead's power structures. To get the kids aboard the plane, some handmaids distract the guardians, and June is shot. As June is being carried by the handmaids through the forest in a quest for safety, she observes the jet pass overhead. And that wraps up today's episode about the top 10 episodes of The Handmaid's Tale. Among the aforementioned, which episode did you like best? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching today's video, and before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these.